Hi everyone, Rachel Francois, the RXR Home Team and Associated Broker with Pure Realty. And I'm just going over why you should sell your home first, or if you need to sell your home first before buying a new one. So before we get into it, let's discuss the pros of selling your house outright before you even negotiate to buy a new one. The first pro would be that you will have negotiating power to buy that new home. If you come in and you offer on a new home based on the sale of your other one, which is called a contingent offer, you are giving away power. You're giving away negotiating power. So a lot of times the sellers are not going to negotiate on the price hardly at all if you have a contingent offer, because it's a risk for them. You could go 20 days into a new contract to buy a new house, and the sale of your home never happens or it falls through, and then the seller has taken their home off the market to go under contract with you just to have it fall apart, and they have to put it back on the market. So now their plans are delayed. So it's very much a risk for the seller, and you lose negotiating power. The second is, if you sell your house first and then start your house hunt to buy, you're avoiding a rushed home sale. Right now in this market, if you're looking to buy, you might get into a lot of multiple offer situations. So there's no guarantee that the house you're interested in now would still be on the market after you sell your current one. So you don't want to feel rushed to buy a house, and you want to make sure you have enough negotiating power that you can get the deal that you want. Third is, if you sell your house outright, you'll know exactly what your profit is at the end of the sale. So when you first list your house, let's say you list it for $300,000, but during the option period they find major issues that you didn't know about, and you have to make $10,000 in concessions to the buyer. Your profit went from whatever the profit was at $300,000 to now $290,000. So selling it outright, you'll know at the end of the sale exactly what your profit is and what you can take to put it down on your next house. The other pro, or the last pro, would be that you would only have to pay one mortgage. So if you're under contract to buy a new house, but you still have to sell your current one, let's say the current one doesn't sell and you've got two mortgages now after you close on your new house, that could be an issue, which brings me to, how do you know if you need to sell first, or if you can go ahead and buy while keeping your current home? And the first place I would start would be a lender. They need to run your credit. They need to get you pre-qualified to buy, and they're going to tell you how many months, if any, you can afford to have two mortgages. So that would be one of the first steps I take. The cons of selling your house before you buy a new one would be that you have to find temporary housing, which can be expensive. A lot of places don't want to do short-term rentals. I do know of an apartment complex here in Cedar Park that does not overcharge for short terms. And along the same line, you'd have to move twice. So you move into temporary housing, then you got to move again to your new house. However, again, you're not having a rushed home sale. And then the third con of selling first would be that you have to show the house that you're living in while you're living there. And a lot of people hate showings. I mean, you've got realtors scheduling showings with you at all hours, so it becomes a burden. You got to keep your house clean. I understand how that goes. There are some options, though, for moving into temporary housing before you put your house on the market, so you don't have to deal with showings. There are some ways to make it simpler. We can do time chunks where realtors can only schedule showings during those times, but there are options for that. Then there is another option if you decide to sell and buy at the same time. It's called a leaseback, in which you sell your house, but you are going to lease it back from the people who buy it for a certain amount of time so that you have time to close on your new property. So that's another option. So you're not rushed as much, but deciding whether to sell first before you buy is kind of personal, but it also is going to depend on your financial situation. So definitely talk to a lender, a lender. You need to talk to the lender. And if you have any other questions about that, just let us know. We're here all the time at the RXR Home Team, 512-956-8620. Thanks and have a great day.